In February 1961, 12 men built a station on the ice at the bottom of the world. Novolazarevskaya, winter was closing in behind them. It would not open again for a year. Rogozov was 27, a surgeon by training, though here he was also the meteorologist, and the driver, and some nights the barber. 13 men, 1 doctor. That was fine, as long as the doctor never got sick. That night, before anything was wrong, he wrote in his diary, ordinary things, the cold, the homesickness, how strange it felt, agreeing to come here at all. The next morning, weakness, nausea, a fever that shouldn't have been there. He told himself it was nothing. A doctor is supposed to know the difference between nothing and something. He kept working anyway. By afternoon, the pain had moved, not the stomach anymore, lower, to the right. He didn't need a second opinion. He was the only one qualified to give one. He said nothing to the others, smiled through dinner. He'd write later that a polar explorer's only real brush with medicine was probably a trip to the dentist. Why frighten them with a word like appendicitis when there was nothing any of them could do about it? That night alone, he treated himself the only way he could. Antibiotics, local cooling. He lay very still and hoped his own body would win the argument for him. It didn't win. By the next evening, his body was telling him something a textbook only describes in theory: localized peritonitis, the lining around the infection, giving up. The nearest station was Mirny, over 1,000 miles away. No ship could reach him before winter. No aircraft could fly through a storm like this one. There was no version of this where someone else came to save him. So he stopped waiting for a version like that. In his diary, he described a strange calm settling over him, as if the arm about to hold the scalpel already belonged to someone else, not him, not anymore. He gathered 3 men, not surgeons, a meteorologist, a mechanic, the station's commander. He told them exactly what he needed from each of them, and exactly what to do if he lost consciousness before he was finished. They scrubbed, dressed in autoclaved gowns, the only sterile clothing the station had. He filled syringes in advance in case his own hands lost their way. By 2 in the morning, the mess room was something else entirely. A cot at its center, a lamp repositioned directly overhead, everything a small Antarctic station could offer in place of an operating theater. He lay back at an angle, hip raised, body turned slightly to the left so he could see what he was about to do. He injected the first dose of anesthetic into his own abdomen, then he picked up the scalpel. The mirror showed everything backward. He gave up on it almost immediately and worked by feel instead, the way a person finds a light switch in a dark room they've lived in for years. Partway through, his hand slipped and opened something it shouldn't have. He stopped, sutured it, closed himself without flinching, and kept going. There was no version of this operation where he was allowed to be shaken. 30 minutes in, his own body started arguing with him again. Dizziness, cold sweat. He asked one of the men to wipe his forehead and kept working through breaks measured in seconds, not minutes. And then he found it, inflamed, already darkening at the base. The first sign of a rupture that hadn't happened yet but was close, a day, maybe less. He wrote afterward that his heart seemed to slow down inside his own chest while he looked at it. He removed it, packed the wound with antibiotics directly, the way no operating manual really prepares a person for doing to themselves. By 4 in the morning, it was over. 1 hour and 45 minutes, start to finish. He took a sleeping pill and slept. In the days after, his fever slowly gave way, his body doing on its own what it hadn't been able to do while the appendix was still inside it. 2 weeks later, he was back at work. The story reached Moscow and then the world. He was decorated for it, and mostly shrugged off the attention. He went back to surgery for another 4 decades, on other people this time. More than 60 years later, his case is still cited wherever doctors study what a person can do to survive somewhere no one else can reach them.